just came to the store to grab a few things. And then, about to leave, realised I forgot something. I needed some ant spray because I've got ants getting into the truck. When I was waiting in line, the guy in front of me went up to the smoke counter and he asked for pack of Weenie Blues, which was what I smoked as a kid. Teenager, young adult. And the girl said, oh, we're out of blues. She said some other thing, goes, yeah, they're all right. And so she scanned it and it was a pack of something or other 40s, so 40 cigarettes. $75.25. How can anybody afford to smoke? I mean, I know it's been a long time since I smoked, but you'd be paying $70 for a carton, so 10 packets of cigarettes. $75 for one pack of smokes. $1 something per cigarette. That's unbelievable. I never realised how expensive it had gotten for smoking. I wonder if everybody's vaping now. It was a warm one today. There's a really nice cool breeze out now. It's 5:30, so we've still got an hour or so of sun at least. Oh, I said to bring him out here so he could get a nice good decent length of a walk. The other day I just did one up the street, although yeah, this gives him a bit more room to stretch his legs, and it's nicer out here. I kind of like walking where there's no houses. Power lines, so they're heading to houses, but you're not walking past the front of somebody's house all the time. I can't believe he's still trotting. I was FaceTiming with my wife because she wanted to watch him walking out here. And when we got to the end, he always sits there and looks down that hill. I've always been a little reluctant to take him down there because of his back legs. My wife said, let him go down. He'll tell you if he wants to stop and turn around and whatever. Just let him guide the pace. Just give him a Panadol at night with dinner, which is what the vet said too. Said give him a Panadol if you have a big walk, just in case he starts to hurt later. So we started walking down, and he wanted to go all the way down, and we took it reasonably easy coming back up the hill. As soon as we got to the top, he started jogging again. Walking a little steadier now. but he seems to be walking okay otherwise. So we're almost back at the truck, and we'll head back to the house. Close to dinner time now when we get back. Tell you what, it worked me out. Look at this. Just breaking into his little trot. Buddy? Stop. It's okay. Good boy. Tide's certainly in today. Oh, baby. There's the wharf. You can see I want a decent walk. Walk up the other side, alright? I have to say that while I really like this little section of Parramatta with the river, even though it's dirty, just having the walking path down that side, some facilities for him to get a drink, and there's public toilets, and then this little walk here with all the Aboriginal history and information. And down the other end there's information about various influential and people and explorers from early in Australia's history, like when this area was first settled. And actually I'll show you this bit. This little playground just built into the side of the wall, where they've got a net for kids to climb, a big slide, rock wall, even though it's on a slope. And then you get this sort of information down here, which is all about this footpath and the paintings that are on it. Another slide there. I think there's a playground up the top on a extra playground over here. Like, just having all of this sort of stuff, I think is fantastic. That said, nice place to visit, wouldn't want to live here. And I say that from historical experience. I won't sit down. Come here, mate. Have a seat. I think it was the mid-90s, the mid-1990s I lived down here. Yeah, mid-90s I lived in a flat down here. I had a job further towards the city, and I was doing casual teaching. And when I first started my full-time teaching, I was still living here in Parramatta, or North Parramatta. But coming down into town would only be to come down to the grocery stores and the plaza. And I'd do a lot of my shopping around North Mead, North Rocks type, that sort of thing. Never came down to the river like this, but I also didn't have a little dog to walk around here because I lived in a flat. So while I really love the time and attention that's been put into making outdoor areas for people here, but there's loads of people walking and exercising and cycling and walking dogs and running, and just that din of the city and construction in the background is there's a jogger and there's a bicyclist, cyclist, whatever. But there's lots, and it's nice to see that sort of stuff down around here, and it's nice to be around it. But I really don't think I could live down here. But that's just me. One of these apartments by the river though, where the view would be nice. An email notification, and I checked it, and we've been granted the funds from Region to buy our brick cutting saw for construction, which is excellent news, because at one point it was just you could rent one, but that would be logistically a nightmare trying to organise time with classes and being able to assess them all. So yeah, we've been given a grant to buy a brick saw. The funds will be completely separate from other vet funds, and we should have the money by early April. I think the date they put is actually in the last week of term. And there'll be instructions on which ones to buy. It's alright, mate. Making sure that it complies with all the department's regulations. It'll probably have the same sort of department switch on it and that sort of thing, so that's exciting news. That means the Year 12s will be able to get on with the brick laying component next term. Yesterday was my last day in my stint up as the DP. I know when I usually sit in for the other DP, we do a handover at both ends. Like, she'll do a handover with me before she goes out, and then when returning, I'll do a handover, so that in addition to the notes I write, I can explain anything that needs explaining. And there's been a few things that probably need explaining, and a few things that I wasn't able to get to that happened in the last couple of days, because it was just that busy at times that you couldn't call on another kid, or you couldn't go for that walk, or there were more, I guess, more time precious things to deal with, especially ones involving parents coming in and the like. The other deputy said, try and make time in the morning, see if you can get covered for your classes. And I looked at my day, and today's the day where I have Year 11 1, then 3, and then I have 12, then 5 middle. Block me out for period 1 and 2 if you can. The Year 11 doesn't need to have a teacher on it, and because I've got them twice, we can put up on the board, no class period 1, go to the workshop period 3, and dive into the day. Good to be back into the classroom and the workshop. It is something that I still do miss, but I do enjoy doing the deputy job. It's new challenges, it's new skills that I'm learning. I have more more contact with the whole school community there, including parents, outside agencies and that sort of thing. So it is a different it is a very different side to a school, which I am enjoying. So I do need to work on really getting my CV together. Let's start on that. Now I can say happy hump day because it's Wednesday evening. It's 20 past 6 now. We've walked a bit over a kilometre, and that's when Batman said, time to turn around. And we'll head back towards the house. I'm not sure that it'll be the same distance heading back because I sort of take different streets. I'll see how long this one is. After he's walked down to the waterhole the other day, that was over 2 kilometres. So we might be able to sort of work towards the 2 kilometre plus walks again. He's doing really well with them, jogging quite a bit. So obviously the arthritis injections for his joints have helped. And they said that should do him good for, I think they said 4 to 6 months. Very muggy today, very muggy. That's why my wife said, are you going dressed like that? Because I'm still in all my work clothes, and I just said, yeah. I got hot enough, I'll just get hotter in this and then have a shower tonight. Oops. I'm going to trip over your lead. Almost. It wasn't so much his lead, but these big boots. They take up a little bit more space than running shoes. It's been a hot couple of days, very humid, and so I haven't wanted to push year 12 with trying to do anything outside. So at the moment, that frame is still just connected with the one bracket. The other little brackets are in there ready to be connected, but like I said, it's 29 degrees outside, but this just seems to be really hot. It's the northern side of the building. So I just had them in here the last 2 days completing their on guard. I was hoping they might do some of that while I was up as DP, but they didn't. Actually, one of them did. They got a bit fair way through, but the others are just a little bit behind. Had our first year 11 practice lesson yesterday and got them. Just started with some practice pieces, showed them how to use the drop saw safely, how to mark out and where to cut, like what side of the line, how to mark out with a little tick on the line, so you sort of know which side to cut. It was only about half the class, but they worked really well. And if they weren't that accurate, I said, look, at the moment, it's not a big deal. We're just practicing before we get into the assessment task. I've got to check what the task is for them, or what options I have, and get stuff ready for them. But I'm done for the day in terms of lessons. Some administration time now, so I might do some report checking because they're due. And then it's our Thursday, so we've got meetings this afternoon. I came down to the lookout because I thought I was going to get a better view of the smoke because they're doing some hazard reduction burning. And from up the top of the street, you could see a lot more of the thick smoke. If I just sort of... You can kind of see the darkness of the smoke in the background, but it's quite thick directly that way, which is where most of it is. This morning it was all over the southwest, but the west of Sydney. So it's apparently meant to go through to the 24th. Today's the 20th. So I'll see how the next few days goes. That's what I was trying to show you. So, quite extensive. First time walking in this area. Just sort of drove to a different spot of town. Got out and started walking. And then turned down a different street. First time down here, it's nice and quiet. Can still hear highway noise. But the sound of the highway noise just seems to carry everywhere. Unless you're a long way off, but I think generally because the highway runs up the ridge of the mountains, everything's sort of down from it, so it's just going to get carried in the wind and whatnot. But it's nice down here. Somewhere different for him to explore. We've had a few dogs bark at us up the road. That'll probably happen again as we come back up. So we walked, it's fairly warm, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. And it's warmed up and it's muggy because it was all cloudy and we did get a bit of rain overnight. We walked as far as he wanted to, and I just said, "Do you want to walk back to the truck?" And he started walking back the other way. We did about 900 metres before turning around. So close to 2 k's isn't too bad in this sort of warmth.